The New Hampshire primary is just around the corner.
This is potentially a pivotal moment in the Republican primary.
For Nikki Haley, New Hampshire could be her best and last chance to persuade voters that she's a better alternative to Donald Trump. Here's why. The first primary of the 2024 election season is now a one-on-one battle. After Florida Governor Ron DeSantis suspended his presidential bid 2 days before the election and endorsed former President Donald Trump.
I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory.
The New Hampshire primary comes off the heels of the Republican caucuses in Iowa, where Trump won by a record-breaking margin, all but cementing his position as the frontrunner for the party's nomination.
We want to thank the great people of Iowa. Thank you. We love you all.
But unlike Iowa, New Hampshire has a more moderate electorate, and large numbers of independents are allowed to vote in the state's GOP primary.
New Hampshire is much more independent-minded, much more secular. This has always been a state where the electorate was much more friendly to the appeal of someone like Nikki Haley, who combines a sort of conservative stance on taxes and spending with conservative positions on foreign policy and a pitch that's about electability. There's a substantial block of Democratic-leaning independents who might like to take the nomination away from Donald Trump. There's a substantial block of moderate conservatives or conservative-leaning independents. All of these moderate voters are a potential asset for a candidate like Nikki Haley.
With DeSantis out of the race, Haley has the opportunity to present herself as the better and now only alternative to Trump.
It has been the conventional wisdom that the only way Trump could be beaten is if he were one-on-one with a single alternative, giving voters that binary choice. Either it's Trump or it's not.
Do we want more of the same, or do you want something different? And more of the same isn't just Joe Biden. More of the same is also Donald Trump.
Haley believes she already has momentum going into the New Hampshire primary.
She has the endorsement of the very popular Republican governor of New Hampshire, Chris Sununu, who's been very outspoken against Trump and what he represents.
Haley is also likely to scoop up some supporters of former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, an avid Trump critic who dropped out of the race just days before the Iowa caucuses. However, Trump remains dominant in polls in New Hampshire and the states to follow for future primaries. With DeSantis endorsing Trump after suspending his campaign, the support he was drawing in New Hampshire will likely go to Trump, widening his lead. Another decisive victory could make the former president nearly impossible to stop.
From the perspective of the Trump campaign, this is already over. You have a lot of Trump's allies and campaign officials saying it's time to unite the Republican Party. Haley has tried to toe this very delicate line of, on the one hand, articulating what she believes are valid criticisms of Trump, while not angering the voters who still think that Trump was a good president and like him in a lot of ways. And so for her, it's really New Hampshire that's do or die. She needs to either win or show that she can come close to Donald Trump to give her a reason to keep going forward.
It's still early in the 2024 presidential campaign season, with many more state primaries and caucuses to go ahead of November's election. But New Hampshire will likely set the tone for another major upcoming test, the South Carolina primary.
Trump looks very strong throughout the South, including in South Carolina. We've seen him get huge reception when he's gone down there to campaign. So although it is Nikki Haley's home state, where she was a popular governor, it's viewed as an uphill battle for all the non-Trump candidates. If Haley is able to come close or defeat Trump in New Hampshire, she really looks like much more of a force in this campaign, and it starts to look like a real contest. Now, she still has an uphill battle in South Carolina, but at least it looks like an actual battle.